All right, hey guys, what's up? Um, let's dive right into this, shall we? So, I was reading some articles and watching some YouTube videos on the subconscious mind and the way we often condition ourselves by repeated thoughts, repeated exposure to things, repeated triggers, repeated situations where we always behave in the same way or we always have the same thought patterns, and these things grow over time. So maybe when you were a child you did something and somebody made a gnarly comment about it. Oh, you looked so stupid while doing that. Or everybody started laughing when you didn't know what to say in a specific situation or whatever, right? And because it was such an intense experience for you, you felt so much pain associated with it that every time you now find yourself in a similar situation, you start to become super fearful, you start to become anxious, and you repeat the thoughts or the words that these people said to you in during that first time. Like, for instance, you look very stupid when you're talking in front of a big group, something like that. And you constantly keep repeating those thoughts in your head, and there is actually a loop that's being created because you constantly repeat the same thoughts in your mind. These thoughts in turn will become beliefs, and you'll start to believe that you look stupid when you're talking in front of a big group of people, for example, or you are not smart because you answered the wrong question in class and people started laughing, or you don't look good because you were made fun of in elementary school, whatever it is, right? And these repeated thoughts in your head, they cause you to form certain beliefs, and these beliefs then translate into behaviors that become habits. And it's a loop because the habits then they cause again the thoughts, and the thoughts reinforce the beliefs, and the beliefs reinforce the behaviors, and the behaviors reinforce the habits. So it's actually a closed loop of continuous conditioning. And many of us, most of us, condition ourselves negatively by telling ourselves that, oh, you're such a piece of shit, or you're stupid, or you're unworthy, or you're unlovable, or whatever it is, you're not good enough. All these negative thoughts in our head, they add up and they condition ourselves to be convinced that we are unworthy, or that we are not good at specific things, or that we are that we should be ashamed, or that we are unable to engage in a specific behavior like speaking for a large group of people, for example. And it's important to realize that this is actually just conditioning yourself to believe these things, and then this belief or these beliefs, they cause a specific behavior which turns into a habit. So whenever you're faced with a similar situation, for example, when you have to speak for a large group of people, you immediately start to feel anxious, or you immediately think to yourself, oh, I look stupid in front of all these people, I'm gonna fail. And then this belief will actually become reality because you will be super tense, and you will be maybe stuttering, or like have a blackout. You will not remember what you had to talk about, and then you'll make fun of yourself, a fool of yourself, sorry, and then you will reinforce this belief, and the thoughts will continue to grow, and you will continue to condition yourself to believe that you are unable to speak for a large group of people. This can also be um, believing or thinking to yourself that you are unworthy, or that you are bad, or that you're a piece of shit, or that you are never able to succeed in whatever you attempt, right? And by continuously repeating these thoughts in your head, you start to believe these things, and then later in life they prevent you from actually like taking action towards becoming good, becoming successful, growing, doing these challenging things. And the beauty of this is that it also works the other way around. So you can condition yourself negatively, but with conscious effort, you can actually condition yourself positively. And it requires a lot of work and awareness because these things, they don't come naturally. most of us, they don't come naturally, especially the highly sensitive people and the empaths, the sensitive people. They usually, because of the world being so intense and creating so many impressions, and the the least negative kind of impression, we enlarge it. Our experience makes it larger than it actually is. So, and since there are so many negative impulses from everywhere, like people um, judging each other, and like the news, it's negative, and there's a lot of negative impulses, and we as highly sensitive people, we interpret these things more intensely. So it's easier to condition ourselves with negative thoughts and negative impressions than it is uh, with positive ones. But you can, however, with conscious effort and with practice, condition yourself positively. And this requires a lot of work, and it requires a lot of mental awareness. And I mean, personally, I'm not really a super hard worker who will wake up at 6 in the morning and work 16 hours and go to bed and do it all over again the next day. No, I prefer to do things at my own pace. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel not too pressured. The stress, I don't like the stress. The pressure of the time pressure, it's not for me. Whenever somebody gives me a task that I have to finish before a specific time, I tend to feel a lot of stress, and I tend to not work with that very well. So instead of that, for me, it works to do things at my own pace. So you don't have to smash yourself with working hard on conditioning yourself with these positive things. However, if you do this on a daily basis, that is also a way of conditioning, and you can choose to repeat these things to yourself as much as you like, right? You can do it 5 times a day, once a day, 100 times a day, whatever feels comfortable for you. For me, it works to do it right in the morning and in the evening. And what am I actually talking about here? Is doing gratitude journaling, affirmations, and counterbalancing. And these are 3 tools that you can use to condition yourself to believe more positive thoughts, to have more positive thoughts, to consciously choose to have more positive thoughts, to consciously direct your attention to the positive side of things. And it's not this happy, flappy, positive thinking kind of thing. No, it's more about being aware that there is probably a lot of good things in your life right now, even though it might feel like you are in a very dark place and nothing's working and you feel depressed and sad and everything. You have to realize that this depression, this sad feeling, this negative thinking is a way of continuously conditioning yourself, and you have been doing this for a long time. So you have conditioned yourself to be depressed, to think sad and depressed thoughts, which cause you to have sad and depressed beliefs, mainly about yourself and or the world, which cause you to behave in a depressed way, which continues the cycle, because you feel tired and you feel like you have not a lot of energy and you feel demotivated and you feel not excited, then it will perpetuate the whole system, right? So by realizing that you have been conditioning yourself to feel sad or to think more sad thoughts, this is the first step to realize that. One second, guys. There is probably some mosquito here somewhere on my leg, and it's very itchy. Anyways, so you realize that you have been conditioning yourself with negative thoughts, which cause negative beliefs, then those cause negative behaviors. But the first step is to realize this, and then to slowly start to take action towards a more positive outlook. And you can actually condition yourself to think more energizing thoughts, to think more empowering thoughts. And the reason why I call them empowering and energizing is because whenever you go deep into gratitude, whenever you really start to pay attention to the things that you're grateful for, and trust me, guys, there is a lot of stuff you can be grateful for. It can be simple things like the ability to breathe fresh air, or the ability to just lay down in your bed and enjoy the sensation of laying down. Like every night when I enter my bed and I lay down, I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for this amazing sensation. And that's a wonderful sensation to be able to just lay down and relax, right? Stuff like that. I'm grateful for the sun that rises every morning. I'm grateful for my ability to speak. I'm grateful for my ability to think. There are so many things to be grateful for. It's just a matter of putting your attention on these things and deliberately look for things that you can be grateful for. And it's important to choose things that you really believe, right? It's important to tap into that feeling of how I actually am grateful for this. And maybe it's very simple things, or maybe very complicated or large things. Um, but I think it's important that you believe it when you say it. And sometimes you just don't feel like it. Then really try to look for maybe like super small things you can actually like truly feel grateful for. And this is an energizing feeling. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel at peace. It makes you more positive, and not like I said, the happy flappy positive, but more like a, a centered, grounded feeling of peace, you know. And by doing this on a regular basis, you condition yourself, your system, your brain, the way you think. You condition it to see these positive things, right? Because whenever you start to feel like you're thinking sad thoughts, then you can, when you create more awareness, and you can do this, for instance, by meditation, you can increase your awareness, your thought patterns, they become more, you learn to observe them better, and then you can catch yourself whenever you are having a negative thought, right? And whenever you are feeling like you're slipping into this conditioning, this pattern of negative thinking, then you can catch yourself and then say to yourself, okay, even when I feel like I want to move in that direction, like go on this like train where I'm thinking these sad thoughts, let me stop for a second and just think of one thing that I'm grateful for, just one. And then you can continue, sorry, with thinking these negative thoughts. You can do whatever you want, right? But try to at least notice whenever you're doing it, and then wait 1 second, 2 seconds, and then think of something that you're grateful for, and then go ahead with whatever you want. And by doing this day in, day out, every day, you will increase your awareness, and you will start to condition yourself to think of something to be grateful for, or to think an affirmation like, I am good, I am strong, I am full of energy, I am continuously growing, continuous improvement, I attract the right people in my life at the exact right time, I am compassionate, whatever it is, things you believe about yourself. I'll make another video about doing affirmations the right way, because I think a lot of people do it in the wrong way, and I did it in the wrong way in the beginning when I first learned about this. But there's actually a right way to do this, and you will feel the difference, I assure you. But that's for another video. Anyways, so you will start to condition yourself to think more empowering thoughts whenever you feel like you are about to think a lot of negative ones. And this is really conditioning your subconscious mind. It makes it like a habit, right? It's like in this video that I just watched. It was a Mouth of the Ape. He talked about it. He talked about this example of an escalator, you know, an automatic escalator, maybe in the airport or in some kind of shopping mall, whatever, you know. And when you get on it, it automatically moves you up. But sometimes it's broken, and you walk on there and you assume that it's gonna work, and then it feels weird when you walk and it's like, oh shit, nothing's happening, what the fuck? And then you have to like start walking up, and it's like annoying because the stairs are like so tall, and it's like, oh fuck, I wish I took the normal stairs now, right? But this is the way we condition ourselves. So we subconsciously associated these escalators, these automatic escalators, with an automatic movement, right? When you walk on them, they start automatically, and we assume that whenever we walk on them, they will move us up. So this is a subconscious conditioning, because usually they work, and every time we go on them, they take us upstairs automatically. But sometimes they're broken, and then our thought pattern or our assumptions, they get interrupted, and it feels weird. And it's the same thing with with the thought patterns, right? It's the same thing. You see your negative thoughts as this automatic escalator, and whenever you engage in this thinking, you will automatically be taken downstairs, basically, because it drags you down, right? And then all of a sudden you learn about this, and then you think you come up with something that you're grateful for before you enter the escalator. It's kind of like the escalator doesn't work and you're like, oh, this is weird, and it will feel weird in the beginning. It will feel very strange to do that, like, there's nothing to be grateful for. But try to push through it. Try to really give it a chance and really do this, like maybe for a week, 2 weeks. Try it just for one day. Start with that. One day, one time you feel like you're going into this negative spiral, just once, give it a shot. And then whenever you succeed, try to notice how you feel about that. And then try to really embody that positive feeling and use that as motivation, as fuel to do it another time and another time and another time until it becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, it will start to, the loop, it can start at any point, right? The belief, the thought, or the habit, it can start at any point. Whenever it becomes a habit, then you will start to have automatic thoughts, which will turn into beliefs, and the habit reinforces it further and further and further. And this is how you can actually substitute a bad habit, a bad set of beliefs, and substitute positive ones, right? Because whenever you think or you feel like, oh, there's no point to this all, or I feel so demotivated, or I'm such a piece of shit, whatever it is, right? If you condition yourself to think a thought of gratitude, to come up with something that you're grateful for, maybe it's something like, oh, I am so grateful for my wonderful friends that really love me. By coming up with this thought, first of all, you have friends that really love you, and I think most of us do. If you don't, I feel you and I hear you, and I hope that you will find the strength and the courage to get out there, to meet someone, to meet a few people, because I'm 100% sure that you are a unique person who is willing to improve, to work on themselves, and there's a lot of people out there who would appreciate someone like you who is aware and who is trying to become better, for sure. So if you don't have anyone that is special in your life right now, and it doesn't have to be a partner, it can be a friend or a family member or whoever, there will be people who like you for you. So that's another video. I also talked about the right way to be you. Go watch that if you are struggling with that. Anyways, most people will have at least one person in their life that they trust and that they really like. So you can be thankful and grateful for that. I am so grateful and thankful for my wonderful friend or friends. And by really feeling that, you tell your subconscious that you are loved, that you are lovable, because this person is special to you, but that means that you are probably also very special to them, because they are in your life. They give you attention, they give you love, they communicate with you, they give you affection or positive reinforcement, right? Because if they wouldn't, you probably would not really like them, if they would only be negative. So by coming up with this thought, I'm grateful for my friends, you also give the message to your system, to your brain, to your subconscious, that you are capable of being loved, right? You are worthy, because there's people who appreciate you. And so it's not only a good way to counter the negative spiraling, it also reinforces good beliefs, which are, I'm worthy, I'm lovable, I deserve good friends, I deserve to be well taken care of. And this not only means by others, but also by yourself, right? But doing this on a consistent basis, this will program your subconscious mind to believe empowering beliefs, energizing beliefs, because a belief like I'm unworthy, it's not empowering. It's not causing you to become better. It's more like a paralyzing belief. It will prevent you from taking action. It will prevent you from growing. It will prevent you from taking risks and trying new things, right? But if you are able to at least change that belief a little bit, maybe you think I'm unworthy, but I still have this and this and this to be grateful for, which means at least I'm a little bit worthy, right? And by strengthening these thoughts, by watering these plants, because this is another good metaphor, your mind is like a garden, and the more you water the weeds and the bad thoughts, the more they will grow and they will become stronger. The more attention you give to these weeds, these negative thoughts, the stronger they will become, and the more conditioned your brain will be to slip into these loops, these thought patterns, whenever there is a stressful situation or you're feeling lonely or whatever, right? But if you actually start to water the plants you want in your garden, the flowers, the apple trees, the whatever, the roses, the whatever, right? Whenever you consciously, deliberately decide to start watering them day by day, they will grow more and they will become a larger part of your garden. And by doing this every single day and by weeding out the weeds, by taking them out, you can not necessarily completely like take them out, but you can give them less attention, less sunlight, less water, and they will slowly die out. And then the rest will thrive. Your whole garden will start to thrive, and you will see that the negative thoughts, they will be replaced with good ones. The flowers, they will start to grow more and more, and they will take up more space in your garden, and the weeds, they slowly die out. There will always be some weeds here and there, and that's good. It's also good to have some like negative thoughts to keep you focused, to keep you looking for things, to keep improving. That's important. They all serve their purpose. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. We would not feel anxiety or fear if it didn't serve a purpose. So it's very important. I think it's very useful, actually, to view anxiety and fear as messengers that try to communicate something to you. And if you really start to pay attention, you will find that they are message carriers that try to tell you, hey, this is an area in your life that you should work on, because it's an immense source of pain and discomfort, and we don't like pain and discomfort. So it will drive us to take action towards removing that pain and discomfort. And for some people, it can be debilitating, and they are unable to move because of the overwhelming fear and anxiety. But by trying out these conditioning techniques, you'll see that the pain will start to dissipate slowly, and it's not going to be completely gone after a week. That's not going to happen, of course not, because you have been conditioning yourself for years and years and years. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time to grow a garden. It also takes time. You cannot force to grow it. Like, nowadays with GMOs, genetically modified organisms, they try to speed up the whole process, right? But then again, it's genetically modified, so it's not natural. It's not natural. It's like on steroids, and yes, it can work, but it's not really sustainable. You see all the negative impacts it has on the the earth. The ground, the minerals. They get sucked out of the earth, and then they have to wait to plant new. Anyways, it's off topic, but you see my point, right? You understand that you cannot force your garden to grow faster. You have to be patient and to give it time, to give it water, to give it love, to give it attention, and then it will slowly grow. And that is how you program your subconscious mind to adopt healthier beliefs, to adopt healthier habits, because thought patterns, they are just habits. They're just that conditioning. They're conditioned. So by becoming aware and then deliberately insert some positivity in there and doing this over and over and over and over, you'll see that you will start to condition yourself to automatically think a good thought whenever you feel like you're slipping into a negative stream. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh no, I've been here before. I am about to think that life is shit and I'm only suffering and there is nothing to this and it's not worth it, you will catch yourself doing that, and then you'll say, wait a minute, it actually is, because I am able to go outside and enjoy the sun, or taste a wonderful piece of fruit, or talk to a loved one, or whatever it is, practice music, cook something. Find the things that you like, that you love, that energize you, and think the thoughts that empower you, and you will see dramatic, not dramatic, it's not the word that I'm looking for. You'll see mind-boggling, I love this word, Jordan Peterson talks about it a lot, mind-boggling changes in your sense of peace, sense of fulfillment, sense of purpose. And you'll be pleasantly surprised, I promise. So give it a shot. After finishing this video, try to become aware whenever you are starting to feel negative or sad or anxious or fearful, and catch yourself before you go into that mind state. Think of one simple thing that you can be grateful for, and try to implement the habit of, either before you go to sleep or right after you wake up, just write down one thing you can be grateful for. I love to do 5, because I just think that it's always better to do a little bit more, not like excessive amounts, like not 100 lines. No, 5 things is great, it's perfect, it's easy, and yeah, you'll read the benefits for sure, 100%. So yes, again, thank you for being brave, thank you for looking inwards, thank you for making yourself and thus the planet a better place, one step at a time. And as always, thanks for watching. Talk soon, guys. Bye.